Hi everybody, this is Rick with Props and Pose Photo Booths, and in this session I'm going to show you how I create a new skin. This is going to build on the other previous videos I've done, and it's really easy. And again, this is just how I do it. It's not necessarily the best way or the quote-unquote right way. So the first thing I do is I come over here to the Photobooth Assets folder, and I create a new one. And of course, I name it something appropriate with the event I'm hosting. So in this case, it'll be Nancy Wedding. And then I come over to the Photo Booth and Video folder. I select everything. And the quickest way to do that is just to hit the Control key and A key, and then copy with Control C. And then come over to the new folder, right click and paste it all in there. That way we don't accidentally overwrite what's in the primary folder. Now, as a minimum, the files we need to be concerned about are all of these that have the ugly pink curtains, as I call them. Now, what I've done to make life just a little bit easier for me later is I've come in here and copied the file name and actually what's on the text that shows up on the images. Now, one thing to keep in mind is one of these is a PNG and the rest of them are JPEG files. So when we go to save these individual screens, we have to be aware of that. So we come back into Photoshop, and we've already done the ready screen, and this is the main screen. Now, we could create a new Photoshop project for each one of these screens, but it's not necessary. So what I recommend we do is come in here and hide all the previous screens except the background. So the very first one we're going to do is our countdown 0. So we copy this text from the notepad, come into the main screen and hit the text tool and paste it in there. Say OK. We already have this layer selected, so select the background layer by hitting the Control key and selecting it. And then just use your align tools to center the text in there. Now simply File, Save As, make sure we're in the right folder, come back to your notepad, select the file name and copy it, and paste it in here for the file name, and in this case it's going to be a PNG image, and save. Okay, now that this one is done, we will make that text layer and we'll hide it. We'll come back to your notepad and work on the next one. We'll copy the text, and it's just the same thing in here. Paste it, say OK, select the background layer, do the alignment, come back to your notepad, get the file name, and again, this is a JPEG. So we'll do File, Save As, paste the name, select the file type as JPEG and save. And that one's done. So we'll hide this layer. Once again, go back to your notepad. We'll select the text that goes in the image. Hit the text tool, paste it, select the OK, select the background using the Control key, center it in there, come back to your notepad, get the file name, copy it, save as JPEG, and save. And on to the next. Two more and we are done. So we'll copy this one, paste it in there. Again, select the background and align. Get the file name, file save as, paste it in there, and JPEG. Hide that layer. And now for the last one. Now you'll note on this one, I have in parentheses at the very top of the screen. And that's just a note to myself, and you'll see why in a second. So we're going to paste that in there. And for one, the first thing we notice is the text is actually larger than background. So we'll double click in here to save all the text, and we'll change the size. And that looks about right. So now when we do select the alignment in the background, we're just going to use the middle alignment tool, and then we'll just select only this text layer, and using the up arrow key on your keyboard, we'll move it up near the top. Okay, the reason we do this is a screen where they see themselves in the window in the live view. If this isn't at the very top, the live view window will cut this off. So that's why we do that. Come back to the notepad, copy the file name, save as, paste that in there, and save it. Now in the space of 5 minutes, we have created all the screens necessary for your new skin. Now we also have the ready. One more thing we need to do is save the whole project in case we ever have to go back. And let's just leave it as how we created it, as a PSD file, and save. Okay, so now we're going to copy everything from this folder except the PSD file. And we're going to hit Control-C to copy it. Then we're going to come back here to our Photobooth folder. And we created that under Assets. And we have the folder selected. And then here, just hit Control-V to paste. And it's going to tell you there's 6 files with the same names. Do we want to replace them? So click Yes, replace the files in the destination. And we are done. If you look here now, instead of the pink curtains, we now have the images we created. I just had to refresh the screen so you can see in here that all of those have been replaced except the master, and we don't need that, so let's go ahead and delete it. And we are good to go. All you have to do at this point is open up your preferences and select the new screen you have.